Everyone knows that discipline can come in many different ways. Now, disciplining your child means teaching them responsible behavior and self control. Now, with appropriate and consistent discipline, your child will learn about consequences and taking responsibility for their own actions. Yes. Now, the ultimate aim is to encourage the child to learn to, manage both their feelings and their behavior. Now, gentlemen, neither of us are fathers just yet. But, when growing up, how were you guys disciplined? And how do you see yourself, discipline your child in the near future? I need to hear this. Don't all speak at once.
Um, I- well, I must say, um, this tends to get a lot of attention. Us, talking about discipline. Um, oh yeah, my discipline will be very, very well. Sometimes it'll be strict, but I think on most majority of times it'll be I'll lean off because now think back to me as a child. I'm going through so much at the same time. Parents don't realize that because they're working and because they're doing everything, paying the bills and everything, they're going through so much as a parent that their own child is also going through so much. School and homework and everything else that comes with school. Even when you get out of school, you still have to be in school. Like it's a lot. So I think I'd be more on the you know easy side, when it comes to discipline or when it comes to anything like that. But discipline for me will have to be. I can't really decide that just yet because I feel like when I get to know that child, have to get to see on what what they're like. You know what I'm saying? Some kids, they're more into their phone. Some kids, they're more into their games. Some kids, they're more into toys. Or so I have to be able to find out what that child likes most, so I can take that away, so I can teach them the real process of doing your homework, do schoolwork, make good grades. When you make good grades, also, not everything has to be about discipline. I can also, reward. There can also be rewards in that, situation there. So, when you get, because I feel that nowadays, when you get a bad grade, you get disciplined. But when you make good grades, it's like, what's happening here? You know what I'm saying? Everybody wants to talk about your downfall, but where is my arise, right? Why are you talking about my downfall, but when I arise, you don't talk about that? That's a lot.
That's interesting.
That's really interesting.
Because grandparents, they love doing that. They love talking, why are you failing? Why are you failing? When I'm passing, it's never, good job. You're passing. You're finally realizing. You're finally maturing. Sorry, y'all. Go ahead.
That's how I was. I didn't mean to cut you off, Damon. That's how I was, low key. Because I was failing in sixth grade. And then I always had trouble in math grades when it came midterm time. And my mom was like, you get your math grade up, you get your math grade up, you get your math grade up. Everybody's like, no, you're gonna go over there, gonna do your work, you're gonna stay on that math thing for 2 hours. You're gonna do math, it's gonna stick to your brain. I'm like, okay. But when I passed the class, oh good. I get that. And that's me. That's why I'm so, I don't want to say hectic, but that's why I'm so potent about getting good grades, because that's how I was raised. I was raised on the fact of you get good grades, you get good things. You know what I'm saying? Get good grades, you get rewarded. You know what I'm saying? You get bad grades, you'll have to eventually do a mommy and me boot camp or beyond scared straight at home. You know what I'm saying? Like that's the tough things. And me personally, disciplining my child, I'm gonna make sure my child definitely understands right from wrong. without a doubt. I'm not gonna let my
Yeah.
child come on the world, especially my son and my daughter. I'm not gonna have kids. I don't have kids. Don't start. But
You are
especially-
one day, and I'm hoping
Yeah.
you do
Yeah, one day you will. Yeah, me too. I hope so as well. But continue on.
with your
Oh,
black
what?
black queen.
Oh,
That's right. That's right.
boy, wow. But for real though, I really gotta be really like potent about discipline because we're bringing kids into an already troubling world. Why not? Don't add more trouble to their future. You know what I'm saying? Because especially on black kids, and especially black young men, treat them as if they're kings and allow them to understand the real meaning of becoming a young man. Don't sit here and influence them with drugs and weapons and all that. Because we cannot raise a statistic. No, we're not
Right.
going to raise statistics. It's not how life is. Because oftentimes, black men are statistics.
Yeah.
And the reason why you have to do so much foundation when you're raising a child, because that foundation leads them to the future.
Ooh. Yeah.
So this is why I'm going to be a strict father to where I want my kids to have fun and be reasonable, but I want them to understand how to make right decisions. Because listen, when I make decisions, in the back of my mind, it's what my parents would do to me if I do something stupid. I don't want to get no long behind phone call, no long talk, no long taking phone time. No.
That's right.
Because literally, my mother's wrath is in the back of my head. So if I do something stupid and say something stupid, that wrath gonna start coming up. And I'm like, oh, never mind. In college, I'm exposed to drugs and alcohol. Be real. If I was to embark in that, you know what my back of the head was like? Don't be stupid, because if I catch you behind getting a charge, it's your ass.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
I ain't got no time for her to drive 2 hours just to whoop my ass and go back home. No. But yeah.
Yeah. I definitely understand that. Go ahead, Dan. Sorry.
Oh no, yeah. Because pretty much what you guys are saying that ties all into me as well. Because how I was disciplined. My mom. She was very strict onto her kids. Because that's how she had grew up. Because she always wants and this with all parents, they want what's the best for each of their children.
Absolutely.
And
Yeah.
because Bra, just like you was saying, the world today, and I'm just, I'm seeing right now where I'm at. People, there's some young men, young black men who are my age, and then when I was back in high school, middle school, being out onto the streets, doing whatever, and the parents, they just don't care, y'all. Seriously. They don't
Mhm.
care. They don't discipline their child, give them, consequences. They let them do whatever they want to do. But, as soon as something, terribly happens to their child, oh, here they come rolling around this and that. I'm like, I feel like at that point, it's too late. It's too late for that. Because where have you been, when your kids is out onto the streets doing whatever, and you think that's okay? You think that's okay as a parent?
Right.
I don't. That doesn't fit with me. That doesn't fit with me.
From the parents, I think that they're influenced by their parents,
Yeah.
or trauma from their parents, and then
Exactly.
they look at them to their kids. But I feel that I want to be that generational curse. I want to be the generational curse breaker, where,
Absolutely. Yeah.
there you get treated in a certain way. How they got treated in the 90s, how they got treated in the 80s, in the 70s was one way, right? We are in 2024.
Yeah.
There is no way that we should still be getting treated like we were born in the 80s. For an example. I'm pretty sure the people who were born in the 80s, they were raised getting yelled at. They were raised, parents, give them off to their parents. So the kids will go with their grandparents. The kids will live with their grandparents, right? You know, and I feel it is now our generation is now time for our generation to be that generation of person and raise our kids ourselves, teach our kids, you know, watch precisely our kids are, and see the influence around them and to see what are they doing.
And you're right. You're right. And this is so crazy because it all ravels around. I'm with my grandmother often, literally in the South. Literally, if you're people from up north, they will take your behind down south to live with your grandparents. Trust and believe. Because listen, when you get a Southern grandparent experience, woo, you will just literally, bruh, them days in that daggone yard. Oh my gosh, yo.
Oh my gosh.
Literally. And you're really funny. You're funny because I didn't mean to cut you off. Go ahead.
No, I was saying, you know, every Monday I'll have to go to my grandparents every Monday, you know, because my parents will have work, and so they'll give us all to our grandparents.
Yeah,
I was like,
that's what my mom do. My mom would just be like, "Hey, you ready to go to your grandma's house?" Yep. Sometimes I'd be home and I'm like, "Oh, I want to go back. Let's go. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? But my thing is though, it's funny because my mom is an '80s baby, and all the time, a lot of the parenting back in the '80s was just, and then here come the early 2000s, same little thing. Because I ain't gonna hold you, when that yelling, when you hear it, it's embedded. You don't want to do that no more. Literally. But it's true though, and I want to mention one thing because Damien has spoke about the parents not showing up and showing out for a lot of the young men on the streets.
Yes,
I feel like, to be really frank, I feel like that's abuse to the child because you sit here and you let the children do what they want, and you're gonna sit here and cry. But where is your foundation in that child? See, that's why I said the foundation needs to be set for a child. Because a child with no foundation will be on the streets. And eventually, if a child is on the streets and doing everything in between, lock them up and let them experience real life and let them wish that their parent taught them the right way.
Well,
yeah. You know what this reminds me of? As soon as Damien brought up when he said, you know, the kids are doing their own thing and something happens to them, and then the parents want to come on and get on, take care of them. That brought me up to realize when people say, give people their flowers now or it's too late, you know, because some people, while they're here, they don't like to, you know, give them the flowers. They don't like to recognize them. But as soon as they're gone, here comes everybody wanting to help, wanting to send their condolences. Like, no. Where was you when I was still living? Where was you? Where was your help when I was still here? Don't try to help when I'm gone.
Right.
And then another thing. The reason why all these kids turn in the streets because they have no parents. The parents are not there.
Yeah.
The parents go. No, the kids go to their real family, which is on the streets.
Right.
That's why I said children need foundation from their parents. Because if they have the parents in their life, they will understand how life is with their parents. Because eventually, and I'm not going to hold you, I was watching a good episode of a show, and the kids were all being, you know, disruptive and on the streets. And this kid goes on and says, "You're never there." And I think my family is always on the street because every time I try to go to you for a conversation, you always butter me out. So foundation needs to be embedded in the child.
Before we go, I do want to clear this up right now here in the vision. This has basically nothing to do with it, but I just clear it up right here, right now, because I feel like everybody was coming for me on the other show when we were talking something similar about the situation, and then I said about kicking the child out the house, something like that. I want to say, I want to clear Prince DJ's name. I finally had a platform to do it with the same, fellas, the same
Go
hosts.
ahead. Go ahead.
Go
Say,
ahead.
my perspectives have changed. I have matured.
Hallelujah. Hallelujah. Sorry.
Kick their ass out real quick if you do something.
Literally. And it's true. And to all the young men out there who don't have a father, it's hard because a lot of men don't have fathers in their lives. And a lot of women don't have mothers in their lives too. I just want to say, find that family member that can be that role model to you, because it's hard. And eventually, those type of kids, and we just talking about the stereotypes and the statistics. Just go ahead and find that.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. And I hate that we run out of time because there was this one thing I wanted for us to talk about, but we could do it another time. But yeah, it's just.
I mean, we talk too much.
Well, it's fine. It's fine because you guys really gave some.
That's our job.
Yeah, some good insights. Some good insights that really,
Taking it.
processing. It's really good. It's really good.